They got him to beat them.
Nice.
I would have let him beat me, but literally the second card I drew was my Arceus V.
Yeah. You can't not play that.
Well, it was the only other Pokemon I had. Once you knocked out my first Pokemon, it was the only one I had. I was like, I'm sorry, son, but you've lost. I built my deck really good too. Like I lost against the last dude because he had the same exact build basically as I did, along with an Arceus also.
Gotcha.
Except for he had the fire. He was playing fire. I was playing water, which was good, except for I didn't get any of my evolutions for my water Pokemon, and the way the fire Pokemon are set up in this series is like there's the stadium card, take 2 damage, place a fire fire energy under your Pokemon. While Moltres is in the set, and it is if you have damage, its attack is if you have any damage on this Pokemon, do an extra 90 damage. So you lay out your Moltres, you put an energy under it, you use your stadium to put damage on it, and then you put another energy on it, and now you can use the attack, which is now doing 90 instead of 30.
Oh, nice.
Like instant lose there for me, and I had all my evolutions were buried, but I got my Arceus out, but only enough to knock out 3 of his before he finally did enough damage to knock it out. And once you lose a V Pokemon, they get 2 prize cards.
Yeah,
and when you only have 4 to begin with, that's a devastating blow.
Oh, is it 4 and limited like that?
For the pre-release, you do a 40 card deck instead of a 60 card deck.
Okay, so same way as Magic. But you know what? I have one more thing to do. Our countdown timer is done, but I have one more thing to do because I want to surprise everybody with the new thing I did.
Oh no, I'm scared.
Oh, you listen to it. But I forgot to set it up on my soundboard.
Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah, not the other thing.
Yeah, not that one. That's for later. That one. And then let's do over here. Yeah, I know I still sound a little rough, but it's not as bad. Okay. So, all right. So I got that up. Let's mute up. Let me make sure that the volume is good.
Hi, I'm Christopher.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob.
Hey guys,
Bergen.
this is Stephanie Shea.
Hi, I'm Christopher.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob.
Hey guys,
Bergen.
this is Stephanie Shea.
Hey, I'm Veronica Taylor.
Hey, everybody. This is Bill.
Way to mess it up already.
I know, right? Well, the volume wasn't up, and it wouldn't let me click it to up the volume without it playing.
One good thing I got from having COVID last month.
What's that?
I just found out my wedding ring fits again. I finally lost enough weight around my chubby little fingers.
You know what I got from COVID?
A lot of more health problems afterwards.
Losing my damn voice twice. All right. I'm good now. I'm good.
Hi, I'm Christopher.
Hi,
Sapp.
everybody. This is Bob
Hey guys,
Bergen.
this is Stephanie Shea.
Hey, I'm Veronica Taylor.
Hey, everybody. This is Billy
Hey
West.
guys, I'm Ryan Colt Levy.
Hi, this is Kyle
Hi,
Aber.
this is Kira Buckley.
Hi, I'm Jameson Price.
Hi, I'm Sean Chiplock.
You are listening to Two Dads.
You're listening to the
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads
and
and a podcast.
A couple of dads on the podcast.
Yes, I feel powerful.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Two Dads and a Podcast.
How you doing, y'all? We are back.
And we got a new intro I made.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun making it too, trying to make everything line up and
I had promised more diverse intros, and then I never did it.
So
I still have dirty intros somewhere saved, which is just
those are perverse
these things that
intros,
we've
not
said.
diverse intros.
It was so I made an intro that was all of these things we had said taken out of context or just bad, all mashed up together. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah. Those are really fun, but maybe not. Maybe not
Yeah.
for the normal podcast.
Right.
Maybe for the adult specials.
So it was a lot of fun researching the topic for this week because this is the 25th year anniversary for FF's. Where'd you go?
I had to restart my camera. It was starting to get all laggy on me.
You threw me bad. I was introing the episode, and now I lost where I was.
But yeah, this year is the 25th anniversary for Final Fantasy VII, and we all know for a lot of people that's like the biggest Final Fantasy ever for them. It's the first one so many people played because it was the first 3D. It wasn't, that top down 2D.
What was the last
view.
32-bit, or were they up to 64 bits before they got to Switch?
No, because they were still on the Super Nintendo.
Oh no shit! Yeah,
6 released on the Super Nintendo. So 7 was big.
I thought they released some on Dreamcast. Did they not do any Sega releases for it?
No, Final Fantasy was pretty much Nintendo exclusive at first.
Oh, that sucks for Sega. They could have used something like that.
And it was going to be on, like, Final Fantasy VII was going to be on Nintendo, but the whole Sony and Nintendo thing kind of collapsed, and they didn't do what they originally were planning on doing.
Right.
Because they were going to have a collab and then create a whole new, it was going to be like the Sony Nintendo or the Nintendo PlayStation or whatever. But they created their own shit, and we got so much more out of it, honestly. I'm so happy about that. But anyway.
Yeah, me too.
We're doing top 5 Final Fantasy characters that you can play as. Playable Final Fantasy
playable.
Characters. And not those
there are a ton of cool characters that are not playable. Especially like if we need to do bad guys eventually, because
bad guys, NPCs.
So compelling.
I actually want to do quite a bit with Final Fantasy because there's so much you can do with 15 core games and countless other side games that they have. There's so much you can do with Final Fantasy.
For sure. So I think, what do you want to go? You, me, you, me?
I'll go. All
right.
I don't know. Okay. This is going to get cut out. I don't know why my camera is... Does that look laggy as shit to you?
Yeah, but it's better for everybody else on this end.
Is it okay on the stream?
No, it's still laggy, but you don't have that face that people want in super high def.
Oh, fuck off. That's getting cut out anyway.
It comes in and out, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I got a new webcam, and I don't know if it's something to do with the settings on Discord.
Oh, by the way, show off your new rug.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's backwards for the people on the stream. But I got a little rug, and I did end up putting it on my wall only because I don't have good space for it in my office to put it on the floor. Like, there's nowhere good to put it.
No. To be honest.
because I got a tiny ass office. But anyway,
It's okay if she is making me a quilt, and
that's what you said.
it is fucking huge.
Oh, is she actually finally making it now?
It is about the size of this room.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So it's gonna be really warm and cover a lot.
But all right. So my number 5, my fifth, I don't know. Words are hard, especially after you take muscle relaxers. My number 5 is
Keep it simple.
the sole main character from, well, originally the sole main character from the newest Final Fantasy game that released, and it's Noctis from Final Fantasy 15.
Nice. I've yet to play this, but
I have not finished it because
all the previews I look, it looks super good. I mean,
yeah, dude,
the graphics are stunning. The landscape,
it's a fantastic game, and the gameplay itself is super cool. Why I picked Noctis to be in my top 5. So something I did that I know you didn't, and that wasn't a spoken rule, so it's not a big deal. But
hey, don't judge me already. We're only on number 5.
I made sure not to pick 2 characters from the same game, and only because I know I've played more than you have. And I know more about the characters. So
True. And to be fair, also I went for like the pop hits. I kind of went for fan favorites, and I sort of have my reasons, and we'll get into that later.
Sure. But I picked Noctis, and again, this is playable characters. So my criteria personally was how good are they, and how much fun was it playing as that character? So with Noctis, he's your all-around everything. He can use any type of weapon. He can use every type of, magic that you pick up and everything. So he's just an all-around powerhouse, and he's extremely strong, but his defense and like vitality and his spirit are a little lacking in comparison to some of the other characters. But that's fine with me, because I love creating the, glass cannon DPS type characters in video games. So having that given to me as a main character right off the bat, I was totally down for. He is a little pompous, a little whiny, but he's a chill dude. I like
so
him.
Are a lot of main characters, though.
Well, yeah, exactly. And, I don't mind that. Because he's very chill. I like that with his character. He doesn't treat his friends differently, even though they're not royalty at all, which is, of course, in this type of world, kind of frowned on because they're, not royalty. So I liked his overall character. I liked the design. I liked being able to use all the weapons. So that's why he's my number 5.
Nice, for sure. So my number 5 is probably the most iconic character of the entire franchise. And I don't know if that was originally intended to be, but it just happened, and it's Cloud. Everybody knows Cloud. And now this is arguable.
We
you
talked
can
about
argue Sephiroth, and you can...
We just mentioned at the very beginning, Final Fantasy VII was the entry stone or the entry step, I should say, for so many people into Final Fantasy. So he was so iconic. I mean, and especially honestly, him and Sephiroth, that battle, that fight is easily one of the most intense and most iconic fights in all of video gaming, not just Final Fantasy.
And even when you reach out to other games that he's been in, when he's not a feature, he's that like sort of cool, calm, stoic character, just kind of badass, sort of silent type. And where
angsty teenager.
Right. Where you kind of, it's all a facade. We know that.
Oh yeah.
If you've played the game. But where you kind of chose, I kind of took your angle from our Pokemon parties. Instead of choosing the best, I'm choosing my favorite. And I'm going mainly for the character itself and the plot. And so Cloud, the reason why he's so low on my list and he's not higher is both the reason I like him and the reason I don't like him as much. He's not a deep character. He's not, his personality does not have a lot of depth.
He doesn't, and he doesn't have a lot of growth as a character either.
No, and he's very stubborn. He's very goal oriented, motivated, but it also keeps him from learning or trying new things or experiencing. It's kind of what gives him strife with his loving interest Tifa, and where they sort of never
not just
really...
Tifa, because Aerith,
right?
Aerith was his first real love interest,
right?
And yeah, I mean, if you know his backstory, you know what's going on with him and his whole soldier background with Zack.
Well, and if you know his backstory, you know they gave him like this chaotic story around him, because himself, like him as a person, not very interesting.
Nope,
to be honest.
Let's be honest here. He's like,
he looks cool.
He has some of the least interesting story plot lines out of all the games.
But his character doesn't have much to him, so they had to make it sort of chaotic. They like forced him to live this sort of chaotic where, you know, his memories get melted. And they've got to separate him with Tifa and all this shit that goes on, and really you're counting on Sephiroth to be the depth in story and Tifa sort of to add to that plot line.
And it works as his character.
It just does.
It really does kind of step up, and it makes for a good game. It makes for a fun character.
Right.
And that's the thing.
Even though, like, out of all the characters I've picked, he's the one I would least like to spend the day with. He's still a fucking iconic and cool ass dude.
Like, oh yeah, and I mean, who the fuck else has a sword literally as large as they are? I mean, right? A lot of people don't actually answer that question. I know it's a lot of people, but this guy is one of the most iconic ones. And honestly, my favorite design for him too is his Kingdom Hearts design, where he kind of had that like one winged angel look to him, but it was a devil wing instead of the angel wing.
Right.
And that was a really cool design. I liked that design.
He just didn't give a shit. And that was cool. Deep down, he is such an insecure human being, like person. Like when you get to the core of him, he's so insecure and so unsure of himself, but that persona he puts out is just cool as shit.
Definitely. So that brings us to number 4. And my number 4 is an iconic character. If you think Black Mage, you think Vivi. Look, honestly, so this one, it's right up there with your reasoning why you picked the things that you did, is I just like Vivi.
He doesn't. I challenge you to find a person that does not like Vivi. And to be honest, I love the Black Mages in these games. I just do. And I liked using them on my team and stuff and tactics. I think
they're always very strong.
Is super useful.
Well, they're super useful. They always have crazy amounts of damage that they can do once you get them up there in levels and you get their special items or their equipment that let them like double cast or cast for so little mana. You know, there's so many great reasons. And honestly, like, I like Vivi's story, and I know have you actually played the game with Vivi?
I didn't beat it. I didn't play the whole thing. I watched my wife play it more than I played it.
His story
I got to play it through
really
maybe
interesting, and I really enjoy it. I won't go too far in because I don't want to, overstep or spoil anything for anybody. But his story, we talk about how Cloud has a very plain story.
Yeah,
Vivi's story is like the opposite. He has such depth into his character and with his storyline and everything. I really like him.
So moving on to my number 4, it's the love interest to Cloud. It's Tifa, and honestly, like she hated it guts. Now, the reason why she's on my top 5,
she childhood friends with him.
She hated his stubbornness.
Well, yeah,
Honestly,
I mean,
like you would be so angry at him if you were her, just a lot of the time. You know,
that's completely fair though. Let's be honest, that's completely fair.
and I love her because of how they developed her from beginning to end. Because
Mhm.
at the beginning, she very much was just the woman in the refrigerator. She was designed to be a plot changer for Cloud.
A plot driver.
She was a plot tool. And they eventually, like, she gained so much popularity, they let her develop into her own person towards the end, where she wasn't, and she changed a lot, where she wasn't as brash and outspoken. She was a little more reserved and mature and grown up, and she surprisingly
didn't
fell into a lot of
lose.
7-day comas, like too many 7-day comas.
She didn't lose her upbeat personality. She just
Right. But she was
learned
she
to
wasn't
control it a little more.
Yeah, she was more mature about it. And really she grew up when Cloud didn't. Cloud
Yeah.
sort of
Cloud
stayed
continued
this-
his angsty teenager phase while she
Yeah.
moved on.
and really you could say she was the more immature when they were younger, and she became much more mature when they were older than I think he ever got
Anticipated, yeah.
to. And so like, and she owned bars, and she just wanted to have this safe space for her and her friend. She really had a simple need, a simple want, and she made a ton of mistakes in her life, but what she wanted for life was just kind of simple. She just wanted a safe place for her and her friends to be able to hang out, and I appreciate that shit.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like that. We are on to number 3. And my number 3 is Yuna from Final Fantasy X-2.
Oh, okay.
Specifically X-2. And I say specifically because we know in Final Fantasy X, she was the summoner. She had some really cool things. You could do some awesome stuff and summon all these iconic, aeons and creatures and stuff. Cool. X-2, I liked the gameplay better, honestly, with the dress sphere system and all the different outfits and costumes and
I never
how
played
unique that concept was.
I didn't
just
play
so cool.
10. I went straight to 10 too. Just because a lot of the people I talked to just said it was a better game.
X-2 is not the better game. Story-wise, 10 blows X-2 out of the water. But and even in character development and everything, 10 is a much better game. But the dress sphere system for X-2 is just stupid fun. And that's why I picked her as my number 3. Her special dress sphere is called the floral fall. Yes, I did not stumble over my word, fall. And it looks super awesome. Her mascot one, she dresses up as a Moogle. And it's hilarious. So, like, I don't know. I really enjoyed the gameplay and the dress sphere system. So that's why specifically Yuna from X-2 is my number 3.
Well, I went with Yuna's like protector and
In Final
father
Fantasy
figure.
X, kinda.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Auron.
Auron.
He was just badass. Like, how
Yeah,
else you wanna put
talk
it?
about like the quiet guardian type like trope.
He lived so many lives. Like, I mean, and he was dead for most of it. He had so many.
Shh, spoilers.
Like, come on, how old is this game now?
25, not quite 25 years. At least 20, I think. Shit,
And so
what did 10 come out?
So,
Oh.
because he was going to be a monk, that fell apart. He was going to save the world. That fell apart. You got to go find Titus. That fell apart. You got to go find him and Yuna. you finally get somewhere with that one. You finally find them, and by this time, you're so sort of like, I don't know if he's just worn down or what, but he's just kind of like,
He's
I'm
tired,
just gonna
man.
sit
He's
back
a
here and
man
let
of
you
my own
guys.
heart. He's a man of my
I'm
own
gonna
heart.
guide you, but I'm gonna let you guys be the
Well,
youth now.
he
And he's
and
only
I
like, he's not the
connect
oldest
on a spiritual
guy.
level. He's just tired, man. He's just tired.
He is, but I love it because he's been through it all, man. He's the guy. Like,
I actually really enjoyed his storyline in Kingdom Hearts as well, and having him on your party in Kingdom Hearts, and
hell
Like,
yeah.
he is a really cool character. But
But I
my
think
personal criteria is why he wasn't on my list. So
I like him because he has just this strong moral like fiber. He's got these principles, and he does not stray from them. You know, he's going to be a monk. Well, they want to do an arranged marriage. I don't think that's right. You know, so he's done with them. You know,
yep, GG, I'm out.
he's just got that moral backbone that he never strays from, and I like that.
Yep. He definitely has a really nice character development with that, and like standing his ground. So that brings us, we are on to number 2. And my number 2 may or may not be as high on my list because of the Italian Senate. And it's Tifa Lockhart. I don't know if anybody knows about that, but look up Tifa Italian Senate. You'll understand what I'm talking about. No, that's not the only reason she's my number 2. She is just an overall awesome character. That pushed her up my list. I'm not going to lie, because that was some funny shit, and the memes that came from it were fantastic. But she's up there simply because I love the design of her character as a playable character. You know, she's essentially a monk, because, you know, they kind of got rid of your classes per se for some of the games, and instead you had characters.
She's just a badass, though. She's Billy Badass. She'll beat the shit out of everybody.
She will beat the shit
warrior.
out of you. All these other people are using crazy weapons and, you know, swords and guns and magic and shit, and she's just punching.
She got Mike 1, Mike 2.
Yeah,
That's what she got.
She is straight up punching robots until they explode. Like, how freaking awesome is that as a character? And if you get some of her, like, her specific weapons and build her a specific way, she outclasses some ultimate weapons when it comes to damage output, and it's crazy.
And that's what that's what I meant, man. They let her be her own. They let her develop into a strong character.
Oh, 100%.
They let her.
And I loved that element from this. She was a strong, independent, powerful woman as well. And I think for when this came out, that was a really good message to have across, that, you know, we haven't seen as mainstream until recently in comparison.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like the character in the beginning. You know, I didn't like that plot device that they had her as. I liked her being strong, independent. I liked her being able to kick ass, and them letting her become a star in the series. That's something that they've tried to emulate ever since.
And you know, we all watch Tifa and pay attention to Tifa for the plot.
That's right.
For the plot.
We're mature.
That's right. Seriously, listeners, go look up the Italian Senate. But it's mature. It is very mature.
Yes. 100.
So 18 plus, please. Okay.
My number 2 is Waka Waka.
Waka Waka.
This guy, a blitzball savant. You know,
he's an idiot. Otherwise,
I know. I love him. He's a lovable idiot. You know, And
No arguments there. No arguments there.
Just like the rest of the crew. I mean, you go from like, you think about of my list, Cloud might be the one with the least traumatic backstory. Tifa, who's both her parents at a young age. You know, Oron, good luck with that. And Waka Waka is an orphan boy, man. He's out here trying to make it on his own. You know, his brother dies young, and he sort of gets this grudge through all of the strife he goes on through early. And he's a lot like Cloud in that way. The things I love and hate about Cloud are the things I love about Waka Waka. He's just stubborn.
I love how you're saying Waka Waka instead of, like, all right, Fozzie Bear.
He is just stubborn. He's really conservative and sort of his viewpoint and his mindset.
I should have put a
unlike
picture
Cloud.
I should have put a picture of Pac-Man on the screen.
But just make it graphically go around and eat dots. Eat the dots down here at the bottom on our logo.
I'll make him. I'll make him eat blitz balls.
There you go. But unlike Cloud, Waka Waka is able. He has this ability to where when he's presented with new evidence, when he's presented with new truths, he'll actually change his opinion. He'll change his mind. He'll grow from these life lessons. And so I love that about his character. I love that he's can be a lovable idiot. And
you mean he's a decent human being who will change his opinion based on facts?
Yeah, that's it.
He is clearly not American.
But that's the thing for somebody who's like not the brightest tool in the shed. He's intelligent in the fact that he'll let himself grow and develop.
He's very honest, and I like that about him for sure.
Not the best character to play.
No, he's definitely not. He gets replaced in the party pretty quick.
I really don't. Nothing about this list has anything to do with play. I just wanted to throw that out there. I know. Okay. I already know that.
Well, that brings us to number 1. And for those of you who have been following along, who have listened to some of the other conversations we've had, you're like, but Tired Dad, you haven't mentioned a character from Final Fantasy X, and that's your favorite Final Fantasy. You're right, because it's my number 1. Shut the fuck up and stop judging me.
And jubbing him.
Yeah, and stop jubbing
all
me.
Those things.
Yeah, stop doing all that. My number 1 is Lulu, the Black Mage. I love Black Mages.
Mage.
I love glass cannon characters. I love glass cannon characters.
Hell yeah.
And Lulu is up there. Okay, first off, look at this design. Look at this design for those of you who are watching. First off,
it didn't pop up, so we can't see the design. There it is.
First off, I love the design unironically because there's always a joke that Final Fantasy characters are so obsessed with belts. And
yes,
half of her outfit is straight up belts.
It's hilarious.
Literally the bottom front half of her dress is nothing but like 40 belts all looped together. And I think that's hilarious. She is definitely the fan servicey character, but that's not why I like her. I like her because she gets super strong in the game. When you get her celestial weapon, which is the Onion Knight, because her weapons are these dolls, and they're like either cactuars or tonberries or moogles. With her celestial weapon, it's the Onion Knight. It's a little Onion Knight doll. And if you know Final Fantasy, you know the Onion Knight is like the strongest, most powerful freaking weapon out there. Or not weapon, but class out there.
You got a little Moogle.
Yeah. But the Onion Knight is one of the strongest classes you can get. In a couple of the games, it was even a secret class. You had to go through a whole slew of things to unlock it because of how strong it is. Well, it doesn't fail to live up to that name in the game. The Onion Knight makes her magic super powerful. It gives her multicast, so she's casting multiple spells at once. And it makes all of her magic cost 1 MP. It costs 1 MP to cast. So when you get this thing, she's overpowered as shit. She is just wrecking everything. And I love it. Now, the overdrive move is actually one of the weakest in the game, but it's more than made up for with her celestial weapon and her magic ability. And honestly, she has the cutest damn weapon out of every Final Fantasy game. When you have a Moogle doll that is your weapon, come on. It's adorable, bro. It's adorable.
That's fair. That's fair. My number one, obviously, is Vivi. Because I've been going based on the best characters and character lines. Vivi's the best. And
Black Mage, man. Black Mage. We both have Black Mages for number one.
We love our Black Mages in this
love
podcast.
the damage dealing glass cannons. Use your magic, blow shit up. I love it.
That's my style. I like, run and gun, big attacks, quick up front. His story though, like of all the characters,
his story is great.
He's the best character. He's the most pure-hearted, and he's not always doing the right thing. Well, not that he's not always doing the right things. He's making mistakes along the way, but he's learning from it, and he tries to fix every single one. And
he starts off as this gullible and clumsy and shy character. He's scared of his magic.
He's not. He's not born. They're all created, and he's pretty much spending after Grandpa dies. Old Gramps passes away, which is another thing. Early on, he's just surrounded by death. He is seeing death constantly. And he's still blind to his own inevitable mortality, which, with how they start off, is rapidly approaching, and he doesn't find that out till partway into the story, and so he spends his whole life trying to do good instead of like some of the Black Mages.
He doesn't even really understand right and wrong. He doesn't understand a lot of the world. And so this is what I was talking about earlier with his character developing more than any other character than we've talked about. He literally has the most dynamic growth out of every character that I can think of, because he literally starts off knowing nothing. He's scared that he can use magic. He doesn't know where he came from. He doesn't understand what the concept of life and death is and why it is.
Yeah, and from the beginning, he was a super powerful, or made to be super powerful. Like, he was created to be a high-powered Black Mage. And so when he finally starts, when he meets up with his own Black Mage kind, and he starts learning more about himself and about where they come from, and he's trying to he spends the rest of his life trying to right these wrongs, and inevitably he believes he's ended his lineage, his whole race, I guess you could call them, and it like works out for him, even though he dies. Like, his legacy is there,
Yeah, he is a great character. His story is fantastic. If you haven't played Final Fantasy,
oh, sorry, I ruined everything for you if you haven't played.
Yeah.
This whole.
If you haven't played 9, go and play 9. It's a really good game. It's got some great characters. It's not my favorite, but it is a good game.
It was the favorite one of the ones I've played, but obviously I haven't played any of the newer ones. The past like 3, I haven't played 3 or 4. What are we up to? What are we 15? I haven't played 15. I didn't play 13. I think I or 14. I think I
14's
watched
an
my
online
wife.
MMO.
Right, yeah, I wasn't gonna touch that. I think I watched my wife play some of 12. I played
Now, I haven't
minimal
played 12.
amounts.
So, and 11 and 14 are both MMOs.
Yeah, I played minimal amounts of 10. Watched my wife play.
Yeah,
a
see,
lot of
10 is my all-time favorite Final Fantasy. The characters, the story, it's silly, it's fun, it's emotional, and the sphere grid leveling system was really unique at the time. Of course, there's so many games now that use that kind of system,
Right.
but it was really unique for the time, and it was super cool, and I really enjoyed that.
But to be honest, completely 100% honest with you guys, if you want to play the best Final Fantasy game, go play Kingdom Hearts 2.
2 definitely. So,
And that's it.
that's our top 5. Thank you for bearing with me as well. My voice is slowly coming back. It is better than what it was 2 weeks ago because we didn't record last week, and that's because last week it was bad. You can ask Felix here. It was bad. So it's getting
always
there.
kind of annoying, but
Meh.
if you have a favorite Final Fantasy character,
Let us know. Reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can check out our YouTube and comment on there, all at 2dap2020. You can email us at 2dap2020@gmail.com. And of course, as always,
Next time on Two Dads and a Podcast.
next time I'll tell you what, we have a great one for you. We are going to list our top 5 all-time favorite anime series features. We're doing it this week. Coming up.
Don't lie to our don't lie to our listeners. Don't lie to our
I'm only
listeners.
saying it because we did decide on one, but I forget what it was already.
Same.
Because we planned out a couple weeks in advance.
But then
And-
we didn't record last week, so yeah.
It's all right. I forgot long before last week's. I think I forgot the next day. Good thing I
man.
save our texts. So,
But we will have something fun for you next week. Hopefully my voice is back to normal, or at least closer. I do have a doctor's appointment next week, but it's not until next Thursday, so we may not record until Thursday next week. It's not necessarily going to become the norm. It's just until, we can figure things back out a little better.
yeah, we'll switch back to Wednesdays
But
for you.
I gotta try getting this my voice back. It's been frustrating to say the least. But all right, guys, as always, thank you so much for listening.
We love you all. I don't know why I said it like that. I don't know why I was just like
You're just
random
singing,
notes.
like rubbing into my face, like, oh hey, look at me over here, I can sing. I can sing too. I want to be the fairy.
Me, my wife, and my son sang that as loud as we could a couple days ago just to
Did
piss Saoirse off.
Does she not like it?
She just doesn't like when I start things.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
so, or when I sing obnoxiously or narrate life through song like we live in a musical. I keep trying to convince her like that we do actually live in a musical, like our life is a musical.
I mean,
So
technically
just
speaking,
I just bust out into song.
it's
so.
just instead of singing like 3 times a day, it's every so often. But technically speaking, life is a musical. There you go, Hellhound. I got Vivi back on, and Mako. Thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate that. But
I still can't find what we were going to do next week.
I don't know. Maybe we didn't actually decide.
We planned 2 weeks advance. Or was that the week before and then this week?
I think it was the week before and then this week.
Oh, shit. I was supposed to plan 2 more weeks out and I didn't. I'm so off my game right now. The game that I've never been on since we've started this podcast, and I was only on for one day when I said, hey, I got the next 2 top 5s, and then I stopped being on that game again.
I don't know. We're meeting up this weekend. So we'll discuss then and figure that out. Wife said no watching podcasts. No, he said podcasts during dinner.
See, so we're good. You
Yeah,
can
see,
tell
we're
her
good.
Okay.
You're allowed to watch podcasts, just not podcasts. What happened? What if we put on like cat costumes
And sat in like these pod chairs.
We'll become cat VTubers and we'll get like the digital cat faces and shit. The bow wow is for Mako, not Tifa. Sure. Look, Tifa was my number 2, not just because of the Italian Senate. Okay. Though her being part of the Italian Senate history is hilarious to me.
I found it.
Oh, did you? Did you look it up? Oh, for next week? Oh, okay. Oh, you said Batman's... I found it. I thought you were talking about the Tifa.
No.
The Tifa porn.
Sorry, I should have started listening before I spoke up.
Oh shit! Oh,
I should have joined the conversation again before I put my 2 cents in. No, I found the topic for next week. It was going to be top 5 Batman gadgets.
Gadgets, that's right. We did plan out 2 weeks in advance. You're right.
Yeah.
Top 5 Batman gadgets.
Now, if it's okay, I'm going to go find that Tifa thing. Go to sleep.
Oh, man.
Shit.
It was funny shit, man. It was funny shit. The memes that came from that, like, there were so many pictures I saw pop up a few days after it happened of like Tifa sitting in like pseudo business attire, in like a business chair with a little Italian flag in front of her. Look, I for one think Tifa would be a great senator for Italy. Okay. You seeing the Batman on Thursday? Nice.
All right, I gotta go to bed, guys.
Yep, and I gotta get ready for some more Pokemon Arceus. I'm excited to play more of that. It's been super fun. So, all right.
For sure.
Well,
Peace.
Stream, I'm gonna hop off here and hold tight. I will be right back.